You're listening to the RMTV podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the RMTV podcast, episode 23. Geordie, how are you, mate?
Good, mate. How are you feeling?
Oh, feeling a bit slim dusty, but I think, you know, it takes a lot of bravery and it takes a lot of effort to stand on a hill at Brookvale on the northern beaches when there's hail-like conditions pouring down again. We stood there in the rain and we saw a brave Roosters victory. I thought, look, yeah, the first half, it was your scrappiness, but the second half was good. Even Sam Walker, his defense was perfect, wasn't it?
Honestly, my clothes, and by clothes I mean I wore 3 layers. So my jersey that I had over my rain jacket are still drying. My hat is still drying.
Yeah.
Like, it physically is drenched. It's that drenched from the weekend.
I
but
mean,
worth it. Worth it 100%. I'd do it again.
I got a photo with a few of my mates, and the rain was that heavy that the camera picked it up. You can see the rain pelting down, and it's a rugby league brave effort, but I don't think your clothes are going to dry for a few weeks because the weather in Sydney, it's looking pretty grim for the next week or so.
Mate, it's going to be grim, for the next week and a half, which means this weekend's games, they are going to go to a next level of importance. But we got up to Suncorp anyway, so it's not too bad for us. But
are you going to that?
Nah. Luke is just couldn't swing this one.
Yeah, so
spent too much money at Magic Round. I reckon the missus won't let me.
Yeah, no, I think we could beat the Finns. Obviously they've lost Herbie. We'll dive into it.
No Herbie, no Kafusi. But yeah.
So we'll dive into the weekend that was and a bit of the dribble of the week. There's been some big stories coming out of the past week or so, and then
big, about 5 times big, or
pretty big. I mean, a few journos getting a bit of strife.
Yeah,
and we'll dive into the weekend that was. But yeah, we'll start off Thursday night. Eels, they were 10, Melbourne 16, and I think I tipped Melbourne, but I was backing Para for the win, and it had a Parramatta win all over it. You know, wet conditions. It's been a wet round. Ooh.
Yeah. Literally, the only games that weren't wet were the Titans game because it was on the Gold Coast, and the Bronx game because it's Suncorp.
Yeah. What did you take out of that? Because I thought what I took out of that is that I think looking at that game, Parramatta, I reckon next year they'll be in the 8. If Moses is fit, and Melbourne, I'm not convinced. I'm still not convinced about Melbourne.
Yeah, I think, look, Munster came back into the team. Paps was probably not at 100%, still finding his way.
I mean, what about the kick he did? Post to post.
Look, to be fair, though, like, people give him a lot of shit for that, but I watched Brett Kamali 20 out in front, miss one at Allianz, going post, back out to him into his hands. So, you know, a great goal kicker like Brett Kamali can do it. Paps can do it. He's had a few weeks off, so... Yeah, he's just got to get the leg right again. But look, I think it's a credit to Riles and Eels, like, you know, what they've done, like what he's been building since he came there. You can see it building. And now this is kind of a game where you go, all right, I see the work you're putting in.
Yeah. I can see it as well. And once you chuck Moses in, it's just like the icing on the cake.
Yeah, he's that final straw for them.
But yeah, no, I mean, I feel like Parra this year, they've been having a crack every game. I don't think they've been... flogged.
Apart from round 1 down in Melbourne, that's probably the only game they've been absolutely destroyed.
Well, you can compare that to the game they just had against Melbourne, and they lose by 6. So, you know, I think that was Parra's game. I mean, I feel like they should have won. They had a lot of errors.
Yeah,
a lot of just drop balls,
a lot of stupid stuff.
And but yeah, we'll dive into the ditch now. The Dolphins. I tell you what, a few of my mates, we were cheering. We're back in the Finns, you know, and they won 20-18, but the Warriors had this game and they dropped it with a minute to go.
The final minute of absolute just pure chaos that was that final minute. Like, credit to Dolphins, that's that don't give up, never die attitude. But, mate, I tell you what, I do feel for the Wilds. They're down a few names, no Fisher Harris either, as well as Metcalf, and they put in a heck of an effort. Like, I think at one point, with about the 60th minute or 65th minute, Tuivasa-Sheck had run nearly 250 metres. Like,
yeah,
it was just crazy.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, look, obviously they had the game in their hands, but the Finns they stuck strong. But I think they might get a bit of a reality check next week against us Chooks.
Bloody hope so. If we can defend like we defended on the weekend, yeah.
I think I do. I think now I see the Warriors falling out of the top 4.
Yeah, I mean, look, can't take too much out of it because that's a damn good Dolphins team, and sometimes when it gets frantic, it's hard to cover. But yeah, it's got the signs of them dropping out the 4 now. Which the question begs is, does Penrith slide in there or do the Broncos? Because they're the two most likely.
Yeah, we'll dive into those teams now. The Bronx at home, 60, Jordan, 60 to the Bunnies, 14.
Should have been about 80, but anyway.
And I saw Fox Sports News. That was a brave effort by the Bunnies, but nothing brave about losing by 60, wasn't it?
Look, you know my thoughts on South Sydney. For all I give a shit, they can get kicked out of the comp and disappear off the face of the earth.
You know, I'll quickly butt in here. I feel like if Souths were kicked out of the comp, I wouldn't rate it because it takes away that rivalry with them as a Chooks fan.
I get that. Like, that part is why I love them in there. But as a whole, like, their club can burn to the ground. I don't give two shits about them. I probably wouldn't piss on them to get them on fire.
Yeah.
That's my feelings about South Sydney. But I will give credit to 2 players, and only 2. And it hurts me because one of them's a bloody Queensland. Actually, I think they're both Queenslanders. Jai Arrow and Jai Gray. The 2 Jais.
2 Jais.
They were probably the only 2 I could sit back and go, you know what? You never gave up.
Yeah, Jai Arrow, I think there was one, I think the hammer could have scored. And Jai just ran that whole field, tried to obviously tackle him, but he always puts in.
Yeah, and look, to be fair, he had to play 80 minutes in the middle. Like, when you got to play 80 minutes in the middle, any game, it's going to cost you a lot. So credit to the 2 Jais. They were probably the only highlight of the Bunnies game. Beyond that, Adam Reynolds actually said it on the Saturday ticket because he was on Super Saturday.
Wow.
And he just turned around and he goes, we just grinded them. We waited till they were fatigued, and that's why we scored all those points at the back end because we waited.
Are you convinced Broncos could be a premiership threat after that, or is it just obviously up against a very depleted South side?
Literally, you could build a 1-17 of who's injured and suspended at South that is better than most clubs' starting lineups.
They didn't have an 18th man.
Yeah, but you know what? That's kind of funny, and I blame that on them because Mamazelos got a Category 2 last week and then got delayed symptoms. The guy got a Category 2, hadn't trained much through the week. Would you not be more careful and be smarter with that? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I don't know. I think it comes back to where the coach's head's at because I saw Wayne Bennett. He cracked a smile in the press conference. I'm like, your team just been smoked by 60 points, and he's just having a cheeky smirk. I'm like, I think Wayne. I think it's time to pack it up, my friend.
Mate, honestly,
collect your spoon and call it a day, my friend.
If he was Old Yeller, he'd be taken out behind the shed and had a bullet put between his eyes, right? If he was Old Yeller the horse. The guy's done. And look, you can say all you want about, but he doesn't have this, he doesn't have that, he doesn't have this, he doesn't have that. Even when he has had those players on the field, he hasn't done anything incredible. Like, you could pick apart every win Souths have had of where they probably either...
I can't actually remember the last time Souths have won.
Mate,
with Latrell, I don't think I was born.
Hey, you know the funny thing, Latrell's been at South for now. This is 6th season.
Yeah, I saw that on Facebook. That post.
He's still played 11 more games for the Roosters than he has for South. How's that $1 million man treating your South fans?
I think if you talk to 96% of fans at South,
they hate him.
Yeah,
he's too lazy. They love what he does off the field, which is great.
Oh yeah, no. Well, we can acknowledge what he does off the field's great as well.
Yeah, especially when he's up in, where was he, Dubbo?
Yeah, like he does great things off the field, but on the field, it's just he picks his moments.
Yeah, he's lazy. He's a lazy footballer, and this is the thing, right? And I've said it since he was at the Roosters. Latrell could genuinely be one of the greatest players in our game. Like, a lot of people try and compare him to Greg Inglis. You can't do it. Inglis gave his all, but if he gave his all, like, he would be up there with your Greg Inglises, your Jonathan Thurstons in terms of Indigenous players. But, like, as a whole, he could be one of the greatest, I won't say fullbacks, centres to play the game if he pulled his head out of his ass and actually put in an effort for 80 minutes. But also, take the ego, mate. Fuck it off.
Yeah. No, I think you're on the money there. You're on the money there, Geordie.
But anyway, Broncos beat the Bunnies. Makes my day happy because it kept them in last spot.
I think it was bound to happen.
Yeah.
If anyone tips Souths, you need a reality check.
Oh, you were hoping.
after Broncos just losing to Parramatta, you knew Broncos were going to get that win, and they did it in great fashion up at Suncorp.
Funnily enough, my wife doesn't gamble.
Yeah.
Never put on a bet in her life. Doesn't understand how to. Her brother does, but she doesn't. And so, like, I was explaining to her how odds work during a game. So I was like, before the game, the Broncos were like $1.14. Souths were like $9.
Yeah.
Broncos scored 2 tries. I was like, Souths are like $21. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, I had to explain to her how betting is. Yeah. And basically explain that Souths are so shit, nobody thinks they're going to win. So if you put money on Souths or if you bet on South in your tips, you're an idiot.
It's a donation.
Yeah, good donation.
Well, let's move into this game. A bit of controversy about this one, but
more than a bit.
Titans up at Seabus 26, lost to Penrith 30, and this was obviously pre-Manly Roosters game. I was going to the city with a few mates, and we weren't watching the game. We saw the last of it. It was 24-0.
Yeah,
and then we get to this pub in the city, and Titans up 26-24. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Obviously, Titans make the comeback, and then you think, I had a feeling Penrith were going to win, no matter what, because I'm like, I don't think Titans can win. There's probably about 10 to go, and
they should be stripped of
Cleary,
their points.
The Iceman, quote unquote.
Ice.
I'll give him credit. Who was it from hooker? It was
Kenny.
Kenny just throws that bullet pass out the back, past the 40-metre line, and Cleary slots it and takes him into golden point.
Shouldn't have been in that situation, though, mate.
But, yeah, what about, Philip Sammy? Mate, take it away. What was your thought?
First things first is the Titans were robbed. Penrith played a great first half and then went to shit. The Titans were robbed, mate. Philip Sammy trying to score a try, got absolutely cleaned up head high. I don't think To'o planned to do it. There's nothing intentional. There's no malice in it.
By the law of the game.
Yeah, by the end of the day, that was a penalty try. Try scoring situation where even getting hit in the head and getting knocked out, like you could see Sami was knocked out from the hit as he landed. He put that ball down. Yeah, his foot went out. But if he wasn't unconscious, he would have controlled his foot. Let's be honest here. There's a 99.99% chance he scores that fucking try. Yeah. So how that wasn't given a penalty try,
I missed that part. So
I've got no idea.
I missed that part. So he scored?
No.
But it was a penalty. So what happened?
So what happened was Sami's tried to go over in the corner, right? To'o's reached across, swinging arm, got him fair square in the face. As Sami's got the ball down, just before he's got the ball down, his right leg has just skimmed the touchline.
Yeah, right.
So he's out, which that's right. Like if he didn't get hit high, 100% great try saving tackle. But he got hit high, visibly unconscious from it, and they didn't somehow they just didn't give it a penalty. There is no way that cannot be a fucking penalty try.
I actually find that hard to believe because if that was Jared Waerea-Hargreaves, we're talking death row or long back.
Mate, so you know what I mean? Glad you said that. 2022, playing Penrith at Allianz, James Fisher-Harris goes over to score, maintains possession, scores a try, does everything right. Jared comes across to try and knock the ball out, hits the ball, and then raises up and gets him in the chin.
Clips him,
bang, penalty try.
Yeah.
And Fisher-Harris scored the fucking try. And they gave it, and of course it was Sutton, because it was Sutton and Klein was in the friggin' bunker, so screw both of them.
I'll just quickly add, how many penalties did Sutton blow in the Melbourne Para game? It was actually just mind-blowing. He had so much control of that game.
He always
does.
Over
20 penalties, I think.
He does. And this is where the refs sometimes as a ref, you need to do it. Yeah. And we obviously had Olivia on the other week, and sometimes as a ref, that's what you got to do. That's what the game dictates you need to do. But sometimes you just over-referee, and it's
a hard balance. If I was a ref, you got to think,
you got to have a feel for the game.
Goal involved.
Yeah.
But then also you don't want to over-ref it because then it's so stop-start. I think you found that before the 6 again came in. You got a bit of COVID, mate, do you?
Oh, mate, I don't know what's going on with me.
COVID 2025. What is the new strain or something?
Could be just from the drenching on Brookvale Oval last night.
Oh, actually, it probably was that. But
yeah, I'd do it.
Yeah. God, what was it saying? Sorry.
Before the 6 again.
Yeah, the 6 again. It was very stop-start. You had the 2 referees, stop-start, and then everyone... Obviously, the 6 again, people love it, people hate it. But, yeah, I think refs, they pick their moments, and I think the best ref has been Adam G. Like, the way he ref that grand final against Penrith Broncos.
Look, I've always been a big advocate for how good Adam G is. Something I'm noticing, and I noticed it a bit this year, and I've noticed it a bit last year, he's come back to the pack, but I don't think he's come back to the pack from him wanting to. I think he's trying to do what the boys' club wants him to do, which is dangerous because as a fan of football, Adam G, from 2021 till probably halfway through last season, I believe was the number one undoubted. Don't give a shit what analytics Abdo and Volandis want to provide. Adam G was the number one ref because he had a feel. And yeah, he probably didn't blow a penalty here or there or here or there. But you didn't care because over the whole game, it was just fair and you knew it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. Look, Liam Kennedy, I can't blame him. He done the right thing. He sent it up to the bunker. But the bunker fucked it. It's that simple.
Yeah, it would have been... It would have been a great day for Australia and the world if Titans beat Penrith. It would have been a day of celebration.
But you know why?
And unity.
Not just for Penrith losing. It puts South a game behind the Titans.
Yeah.
With the bye in hand for them. So
I think now, if you're talking spoon bowl, you're talking this upcoming round, Titans Rabbitohs. I think whoever loses that will get the spoon.
I think it's safe to say.
And it's up at Goldie?
Yeah, Upper Goldie. But before we do that, I'm going to very quickly touch on this because we're going to have a big conversation about it.
Yeah.
To the Penrith Panthers organisation, fuck you guys. You should have all your trainers fined and suspended. This is the 3rd time in 3 years. Don't tell me it was a mistake. Don't tell me it was an accident. You knew what you were doing. You done it intentionally. You are a joke. Like, you've lost every moral credibility high ground. To say anything anymore that you guys aren't favoured because that was a load of shit. And to see the trainer, and I don't like Gordon Tallis. I think he's the human embodiment of CTE. And I genuinely think, like, Gordon Tallis to me is an absolute nincompoop. He's an absolute hypocrite. He's a dick. I hate him.
Hates the Roosters.
Hates the Roosters, but because we didn't sign him, that's why he hates us.
Yeah, right.
But... And, like, he said some stupid things. Like, he said that the media can't go after Billy Walters because Kevin was his dad and his coach, but said it's free game to go after Flanagan because his dad's his coach. But anyway. But I agreed with Gordon on something, and he said to me, he goes, look, if that was a genuine accident, I could probably accept it. The fact that the trainer literally laughed
Didn't
the way
Cleary
he
laugh
laughed.
as well? Didn't they have a
Yeah,
little giggle?
mate, Ivan the trainer had a hug and a laugh after the
Yeah.
game. But after it actually happened, the trainer was pissing himself laughing. You cannot tell me that he done that accidentally. That was 100% intentional. But we'll talk about that a bit more. Sorry, I carried on a bit there.
No, it's fine. And I just think they've been carrying on for the past 4 years. And if, like I said, if they win the comp this year, I'm going to start watching the A-League.
Mate, if they win the comp this year, I may or may not ensure that Penrith doesn't have a centre of excellence. Wait, what? Did I say that out loud? Oopsies. Hashtag
all right,
actually.
let's move down to the gong. And I really wanted to tip the Saints last week, and I should have, because they won 18 to Canberra 12. Gutsy win. And, mate, as you mentioned before, Kyle Flanagan, he had a pretty good game.
He did. He didn't overplay things. He just done his job. That's all he's got to do.
Yeah.
He does have... Look, for all the shit Kyle gets, he has a lot of potential if he just pulls back and goes, all right, this is what I need to do. Do the basics. You do the basics right, everything else can go off the back of that. And that's what they've done. They've done the basics right. They ran the ball hard. They kicked it deep. They've done what they had to do. They put pressure on Canberra's defense, and, Canberra went up to the task.
Yeah. I think, obviously, like I previously said, it's been a very wet round of rugby league football, but I think also it was the loss Canberra needed. Bit of a wake-up check because they've been a few of their past wins. It's like, are they going to lose this one?
Yeah.
Hasn't been convincing.
They've had a few that are very tight, and you sort of go, where are we at?
Yeah, I mean, it really opens up the comp now. It's like you think, like, who's going to win the comp? It's like, Penrith just beat the Gold Coast Titans. Canberra lose to Saints. Storm just beat Parramatta. But I think I've always, I feel like Para's always been Melbourne bogey side.
Yeah.
If Melbourne are first and Para last, Para will still turn up.
There's two teams that Para turn up against: Melbourne
and Penrith.
Yeah, that's it. They're their two teams they're going to show up for no matter what.
All right. Well, let's turn our attention to, mate. This had to be one of my favorite games. Just the theatre of it. Like hail-like conditions on the hill at Brookvale. The first half was quite clear. And then the second half, the heavens opened up, and it was pissing down. We had our
started the second half.
And Chookies 20-4. Manly were the first to get on the board.
Yeah. They scored like the 5th minute through Talau, which, look, wet weather football. It was pretty good. They tried their hand and they got up. Like, credit to them.
They got the score, but
that's about all they'd done though.
Yeah, half time 12-4, and proud Roosters victory. I think Luke hit his KPIs on the drum.
Oh, no. I'll give him credit. He exceeded them. He exceeded. He done well.
But yeah, it was a good turnout considering the weather. I think there was 11 to 14,000 there.
I think the final was like 12-8 or something like that.
That's pretty impressive. And there was a good handful of Chooks fans, which was good to see. But something about wet weather footy, it really makes you
it's different.
Appreciate and love the game. Standing there on the hill, and there was footage of Fox League. Just had the boys on the hill with the banners, and
that was like right at the end of the game as well. Like right after the game had finished, we're waiting over there. Credit to the boys; they came over and said hello to us all. Yeah,
it was a great game, and I think the standout was potentially try of the year when
that team try of the year, holy moly!
Teddy up the middle. When doesn't Teddy have a bad game?
Teddy got himself 6 Daily M points, but Teddy up the middle, off to Walker. Walker gets tackled. They fall off him. Comes around, and he kicks. And
yep.
To be fair, we're all up on the hill going, "What the actual? Why are you kicking?" Next, you just see the flying tubes come through on his knees. And then offloads to Crichton. Crichton goes, "Oh, thank you."
I knew Crichton would score because he came off that ball like a bullet train. Yeah. He was just going bang straight under. But that's the thing I like about Sam Walker. He just ad-lib. He's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna kick it.
We scored 3 tries. He got the try assist for all 3 of them.
Yeah,
it shows you how important he is to our team.
Like you just dropped in Dally M right there, and I think Tedesco, he's got to win it. Roosters have been, we've had a few win-loss, blah, blah, blah. But every game, Teddy puts in his heart.
But even games we've lost, he still polls 6 points.
Yeah. Do you think he's going to win it?
Yeah.
If not, who wins it then?
I couldn't tell. The only person that I thought had a chance was Metcalf. Yeah. But once he got injured, it's Teddy's.
It has to be Teddy.
I do reckon there'll be some Penrith glazing, and either Cleary or Edwards will get a few six points. But like you look at the weekend, you can't give Edwards 6 points because, mate, the guy knocked it on twice and got helped by the ref. Cleary you could probably give 6 points for a couple of things, but overall, Teddy is the only one I see consistently polling good points, and that's because he's a standout in that team. And Teddy for years didn't poll 6 points because we had so many guys putting in, solid effort.
Well, we had a lot of chefs in the kitchen, but now, Teddy's a standout. But I thought, great game. Hugo and Sam Walker. Wow, that's a future halves pairing right there.
And obviously, the amount of dailies a Roosters chant, I reckon that pissed off the Manly fans. Yeah. They were enjoyable to do while we're up there.
Yeah, obviously we'll see what happens with dailies soon. It could be the worst kept secret in the NRL.
Well, Robbo said during in the lead up he hasn't actually signed a contract. So is Robbo lying?
I kind of I think it's been so. The rumour's grown its own pair of legs that you think he's going to the Roosters, but I actually think nothing's confirmed yet.
I reckon what's happened is, he has got a handshake deal with Politis.
You reckon?
To be fair though, right, if you have a handshake deal with Politis, that's gospel truth. 100% it's going to happen. Politis doesn't go back on handshakes because of all the crap that's happened. Like Wayne Bennett, for example, Isaac Moses, for example. Politis will never deal with them ever again because they went back on handshakes. Because a lot of people forget, Bennett was supposed to coach the Roosters.
Yeah.
Before he went back up to...
Mid-2000s?
Yeah, before he went back up to the Broncos. And then before he went to the Dragons, he was supposed to coach us.
Yeah.
So Politis will never deal because he went back on a handshake. So Politis won't do that to someone and be like, oh, yeah, now I don't want you. If he's shaking your hand, that's a deal. But yeah, I don't think anything's actually been signed. So if Daly wants to retire, he can. Please.
Yeah, I think.
Please.
I don't know. I guess we'll let the funny game of rugby league, do its thing. But
Oh, yeah.
Well, on Sunday, Tigers 28 to the Dogs 14, and oh man, I wish I tipped Tigers because I feel like the painting was on the wall. Galvin against his old club. And Tigers really, they had a great team effort. I thought Dewey had his game of the year.
Contract year, that's why.
Yeah, and I think Luai mentioned that in the post game in a presser. But credit to the Tigers, man.
Yeah.
13 plus.
Mate, they played so well. And at one point they had Seyfarth in the bin and they just did not give up. They scored a try with him in the bin, I'm pretty sure. They went hard and credit to the Tigers. It's probably the best performance I've seen out of them in the last 5-6 years.
Yeah.
I reckon they just grinded that.
You can tell Tigers this year, they've had games where you think, wow, that's, you could be pushing for a GF. And then obviously see some games you hand them the spoon. But
yeah,
they've obviously been hot and cold this year. But I think let's give them till next year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And see where they're at. I feel like Benji obviously has a plan what he wants to do. Obviously, he's been ripped throughout the media. There's no doubt about that.
Similar to what I said the other week. I think I can't remember if it was last week or the week before about Titans. But you give 3 years and you go, this year you have to win X amount of games. Next year you have to play 500 football. Year 3 you have to make finals.
Yeah,
I feel like that's what Benji's doing at the moment at West. It's all right. Last year we were close to 500. This year we're going to try for 500. Next year we need to be making finals.
Do you think they play finals? Obviously, they're going to play finals this year, but...
Well, mathematically, they still could, but no. They won't play this year. Next year, I reckon if they finish top 10, they've done well. So not quite finals. If they get back to 9th, I think they've done well.
Maybe they'll get their 9th position there.
Yeah, home of Wests.
And then the last game to finish off round 23, Sharks 32-12. I had a bit of a feeling of, Cowboys could do something here, but Cronulla, they keep rolling on with some good form here, don't they?
They kind of needed to after how piss poor they were last week against South. I think genuinely, 26-0 at halftime was Fitzy going, you boys need to show me that you want to play because they were horrible last week against the Bunnies. They just squeaked by, so
yeah,
it was very much you boys need to step up. And look, to their credit, they stepped up. They just done their job in wet weather conditions and Shark Park looked like there was a few sharks in the swimming holes there because
there
was
how
enough
about
bloody puddles. Talakai sliding.
Well, yeah, Talakai, he slid into pretty much a pool.
He almost drowned in that thing.
Yeah. But I think, Cronulla, my gut feeling is Cronulla's that team where they'll make the finals and then they'll just lose week 1.
Yeah. I think it's safe to say.
I'm not, some people hate clubs, some people love clubs, but I nothing really favours being about Cronulla.
Yeah. There's nothing that stands out as they're excellent or anything like that.
It's Yippee, they won the comp in 2015. 2016, sorry, but...
Wow, you are dusty.
Yeah, 2015 was probably the greatest grand final of all time.
Yeah.
I can tell you every grand final from 1999 to now, mate, if you want to call me Dusty.
Hey.
Come on. We'll be here for days. But, 99, obviously, Melbourne won in that very controversial grand final against Dragons.
Hey, you know what? They called that a penalty try. How the heck couldn't the Titans get a penalty try on the weekend?
Yeah. But that's right. And all right, well, what about round 5 in the NRLW? That was
magic round.
A bit of a obviously the weather gods weren't too nice up for Nui because it was a drenching that whole round. I feel like if it was a dry track, they would have had decent crowds.
Well, they still got okay crowds, but I think it was 2 or 3 lightning delays across the 2 days. So, a bit disappointing. But hey, look, it was a good chance to showcase the women's game, and it seemed like they had a few people there, which is better than none.
Yeah, oh, no, I mean, for sure. I mean, Titans and Dogs, they're 14-all draw.
First ever draw in the NRLW.
Yeah, so that's one. And then the Chooks, blazing hot,
Masterclass.
34-4. Poor old Tigers, I think they'll be scraping for the Spoonie.
Yeah, but at least Tigers scored points.
I mean, yeah, one, but...
Better than none. There was a team that didn't score a point all weekend, so,
And,
in that one game anyway.
Yeah, and Broncos 28-14 over Cronulla.
Just classy, man. That's what the Bronx do.
And then a bit of a low scoring on the Warriors 12, Cowboys 6.
Yeah, I caught a little bit of this game this morning. It just seemed defensively they just couldn't crack. Like it was a tight game for a lot of it, but beyond that, look, it's just the girls' game's growing and we're starting to see better quality football off it, and it's being showcased in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and the home team, the Novocastrian girls, Newcastle 18, Canberra with a donut.
Canberra.
0.
So, look, credit to Canberra. They've been averaging about 40 points given up this year, so to keep the Knights at 18 was good. They've only been scoring about 8, so they couldn't even beat their own average. Yeah, those Knights girls were too good. They wet weather football. The Raiders just couldn't get into second gear, man. They were stuffed from the start.
And then I think I tipped the Dragons here, but then they lost narrowly, 12-10 to Parramatta.
Again, goal kicking.
Yeah, that's what done it there. But yeah, I mean, another good round in the NRLW, and then they got a few more rounds, and then obviously finals. It's creeping upon us.
Yeah, we're getting there quick. Can't wait till the women's games. A bit longer in a season, where they're not playing everyone once. They're playing, maybe get a couple of extra games in there.
The RMTV podcast is brought to you by FDS Eyewear. FDS Eyewear is your one-stop shop for quality, affordable eyewear. With the latest lens technology and weekly eye testing services, FDS Eyewear provides competitive rates over the larger optical retailers. Visit their store at Wentworthville Plaza, just a short drive from Parramatta.
All right, let's we'll dive into now dribble of the week. So we did talk about this. We'll extend on it now. The Penrith trainer. Will there be a possible punishment, or is it kind of like? I feel like this happened in the grand final for Parramatta versus Penrith.
Nah, it was a semi-final Penrith.
Yeah, something happened with the trainer. I mean, do you think he gets a punishment in this Titans game?
I'll be brutally honest. If the NRL do anything less than suspend him and fine both him and the club, I will be extremely disappointed and let down by the NRL.
Yeah.
Penrith have already received a breach notice about their trainers' behaviours this year. AK, go back to the North Queensland game about wetting the ball down.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, and look, there's a lot out there about, the Cowboys trainer was doing that as well. Well, look, we didn't see blatant footage of him doing it, so I can't comment. At the end of the day, your club's already been given a suspended fine. Brutally honest is, if I was Liam Kennedy, I'd be sending that trainer off, he doesn't come back, and I'd be awarding a penalty directly in front. Because there is no way you can say to me that there is any form of that was a mistake, an error. It wasn't him just communicating. You're back there. You're literally back in that huddle because Jaden Campbell's lining up a conversion. If I'm Jaden Campbell, I would have rushed that kick and put it right in his head.
Yeah.
If I could. Because you knew what you were doing. There's no blatant excuse here where you can go, it was a mistake, I'm sorry. You were laughing about it as soon as you realised what happened. I've watched the video. He's looking directly at Liam Kennedy as he's running back. There's no way you're not looking at Liam Kennedy and not seeing Jaden there. And then tries to step away when Liam Kennedy's like, what the heck are you doing?
I just don't understand. Why don't you just run behind him?
As a trainer, you're taught, and multiple ex-trainers of the NRL have come out, you go for the closest way to get off the field. If he ran to the corner post, which was much closer, he could have. He's intentionally done it.
It would have been funny if he just kicked it into him, and then I think
I would have laughed my ass off.
What's happened there? Is that just the penalty in front, or is it just kind of take it? I kind of feel like it'd be all right. That's happened. Take your kick again.
Yeah, so I think the rule is retake it, but I think after this, the NRL need to rewrite the rule because at the end of the day, it's not acceptable. Don't give me this shit that it was a mistake or it was an error. It wasn't. I've purposely gone back today and watched it about 6 times. He knew what he was doing. He planned it. He'd done exactly what it was. It wasn't because of communication. It was an intentional attempt to distract the kicker, which ended up working. To be honest, if I was in the NRL, I would be laughing and I'd be stripping Penrith of the win. You can't give the 2 points to the Titans, but I would strip it off Penrith.
It's a stretch. I think it would be a big call to strip him off.
Doesn't bother me. I'd still do it.
Yeah.
It's a disgrace. It is genuinely bringing the game into disrepute. This is the second time this year they've brought the game into disrepute through the acts of their trainer. It's the third time in 3 years because of what happened when they played Para and one of the other trainers calling time off when they shouldn't have. And the Penrith fans are going to bring up the year that the Para trainer ran across underneath the post. Well, you know what? Cleary was on the sideline about 30 out. He was looking at the ball when that trainer ran. He doesn't see him. Your trainer ran directly across in front. You can't tell me that those two are the same.
Yeah.
Your trainer screwed up. He shouldn't be allowed on the field ever again. He should be suspended for the rest of this season, I reckon. Your club should be fined. The trainer should be fined. And you should lose the 2 points from the weekend.
Now, you say all this.
I'm such an asshole and I don't care.
Being devil's advocate, what happens if it was a Roosters trainer?
Same thing.
You reckon?
Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
At this point, right, trainers are on the field a crap ton as is because they're communicating messages.
Sometimes it actually like bemuses me how much the trainers are on the field. I'm like, mate, you're not even playing. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, they're on there as like, assistant coaches.
I reckon they love it. I reckon they just get out there and
they just get out, yell a few things. But when you intentionally bring yourself into the game by an act like that, there needs to be a punishment. And look, if it was the first time Penrith had gotten in trouble for their trainer doing something, I'd be a bit more lenient. I'd be like, fine them.
But it's ruffled the feathers a few times.
But this is 3 times. 3 strikes and you're out. I'm sorry, 3 strikes, you're out. You're done. You've screwed up too many times. You can't tell me it's not intentional. When the coach and the trainer are pissing themselves laughing about it, that's just proof to me that it's a joke. They're taking a piss out of the NRL.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. But,
just my thoughts.
We'll talk about screwing up. Well, respected journalist.
I don't know how respected he is anymore.
Obviously worked. I don't know if he's still going to work with Triple M, but he worked for Fox.
No, he resigned from Triple M as well.
Well, there you go. James Hooper, ladies and gentlemen, got himself in a bit of a hot curry. He drink driving. It could be the new NRL 0.360.
Yeah, that's him, Kenty, and a few others. I'm sure could join in on that podcast. Ezra Mann will be their first guest.
Yeah, I think he came out straight away. I think he spoke with the Daily Telegraph and said he was he's let the game of rugby league down. He's talking like he's a player here, but
I actually liked Hooper though. I didn't mind Hoops. Like, he was pretty nonchalant, just went, this is what it is. So it's a bit sad.
I think it's the same with Paul Kenny. Like, he said it how it is, but I think when you have, your journos like that, they've had a few off-field discrepancies now, and obviously poor Hoops. I mean, it's not. You're going out there drink driving, could kill people, and he's I think there was exclusive footage on 7 or 9, but
9 I think had it, yeah.
He drove into a few cars in Leichhardt, Balmain around there, and now coppers pulled him up and he's been fine.
Basically, what it is, right? You need to be a player who plays for Brisbane, because.
Why is that?
Well, I mean, that gets you a $750 fine and what was it, like a 12-month good behaviour bond? Actually, 8 months, I think it was.
Yeah.
But it kind of brings in the inequality, though, right? And I'm always going to use this because it's a perfect example. Ezra Mam kept his job. The social media manager, I can't remember her name, the social media manager or the media manager from the Broncos has kept her job. Hoops, who has... for a very long time.
Did he step down or did he get the sack?
So he got sacked from Fox Sports.
Right.
Oh, sorry, okay. So it's rumoured he was sacked from Fox Sports, but he resigned from Triple M, which is, I bet you would be if we don't get your resignation, we're going to sack you. So it kind of shows you the inequality in our sport. Do I agree with what he done? Do I think it's right? 100% no. I think he's absolutely screwed up and he needs to be punished. But you can't sit there and say that all punishments are now equal because it's just not okay. Like... it's not okay what he done. It's wrong what he done. But now the bloke's life is in tatters because of it.
It shows.
Some others aren't.
Well, I mean, that's right. And tell you what, Ezra, he had a pretty good game against Souths the other night as well. So he's back finding his form. But yeah, I think hoops. I think it's one of those positions and jobs where you really got to second guess yourself and think, I shouldn't be doing this. And he must have been. I think he blew.
Someone said like 5 times the legal limit, something ridiculous.
Yeah. So obviously he's got on the sauce hard, and he's probably, it's one of those cases where this time he just got caught. Like,
well, don't crash into 3 parked cars, and he probably wouldn't have. Like, let's be fair.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I don't think we'll be. I think our best bet, we might see him on the potty with Kenny.
Yeah. The park car, bloody podcast, I reckon.
Yeah, that's a good shout there. But yeah, well, let's talk about Hughesy, Jerome Hughes. He's signed. Obviously, didn't play over the weekend after his
shoulder.
His shoulder. That's
Dislocated
right.
his shoulder. Yeah.
But yeah, he's re-signed to Melbourne for 2030. What's this mean for the likes of your Munsters, your Paps? What was the other one?
Yeah, Jonah Pezzett. So
Jonah Pezzett as well, because they've got a few up and coming players coming through the rank.
Well, they're trying to lock up their spine long term because I know there's talks with Grant. He's the club captain, so it makes sense. Hughes is now re-signed to 2030, which is huge. There's already talks of Munster potentially, going to the Perth Bears. There's talks of Paps going to Rugby R360, this Saudi back thing.
Well, at the end of the day, they're all rumours,
Yeah, but we saw last time, Munster nearly ended up at the Dolphins, right? That was he'd said yes to Wayne Bennett and then had to call back and say, nah, I'm going to stick in Melbourne. So at what point is enough and Munster goes, nah, see, I'm out of here?
Do you see a Munster going over to Perth?
I think if Munster goes to Perth and Pezzett's still at the club, Melbourne are cheering because Pezzett just slides into the 6.
Yeah.
Or if Munster goes and Pezzett decides to go, because he has a clause in his contract that says if they re-sign Jerome Hughes, he can seek an early release and they have to approve it.
Right.
Wishart will stay and he'll play 6. So there's a few options. It's going to be very interesting to see at the end of this year what Melbourne do with Munster, Paps, and like I said, Grant's obviously ongoing with his chat. So I think Bellamy will have a lot to do with it. If Bellamy's leaving, I reckon Munster might leave as well.
Yeah, I think, being a realist here, I'll throw my 2 cents in. I think Bellamy, he'll do another year.
Yeah.
I honestly see Slater taking over the ranks of Bellamy, but I also think when you think of Munster, you think, Queensland Maroons, Melbourne Storm. I think they'll lock him in, and I reckon, this is my gut feeling, Wishart will be playing for the Perth Bears.
If Wishart goes to the Bears, he's walking on as their number 6.
Yeah, I think he'll want a position where he'll lock in. Like, he's not floating around the field coming off the bench.
And Rod did have an affiliation with North Sydney, so I'm just saying.
That's what I think. I think you got to, people might be optimistic and think Munster this and that, but I think Munster, he's pretty happy down in Melbourne.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But yeah.
The RMTV podcast is brought to you by The Legal Problem Solver. The team brings over 25 years of experience in wills, probate, estates, conveyancing, property and commercial law. Connect with The Legal Problem Solver on LinkedIn, Facebook and Instagram.
Let's dive in now to round 23. Tell you what, mate, there's only a few rounds left.
4 rounds to go.
I feel like post Origin, it just starts flying, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's because there's no breaks, there's no big buys. It's just,
But I'm looking forward to it. Won't be going to the Dolphins game, but every game after that, I'll be at your Dogs, your
We've
Para.
got Dogs, Para, Melbourne, South.
So
Season's
I feel like
almost over.
Chooks, it's probably that case of you can probably drop one and we may make the top 8.
Melbourne's the main one I'm worried about. If we can get a bit of wet weather for the Dogs game, I'll be happy with that because the Dogs suck in the wet weather. So.
I feel like that's going to be a good game. I reckon that could almost be sold out.
I'd be surprised if it wasn't.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that. That'll be a sellout. And then obviously South's Roosters, that always sells out.
That's always a big game.
It really depends how the South fans are feeling. They'll be very depleted once that spoon arrives in the mail.
So the Borough will look like a normal night at a call then, just empty.
Yeah, typical night, yeah. But, so yeah, to kick off the round 23, Storm, $1.45 to Broncos, $2.76 in Melbourne. I was thinking about this. I want to back the Broncos.
It's tempting, isn't it? Especially after last week. I think I'm going to go Storm. 2 very weak wins in a row. Bellamy will be expecting perfection in Melbourne, and I think they're probably going to go, all right, we need to give it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to back Melbourne just.
Ooh,
But
I've changed your mind already. That was quick.
yeah, don't be shocked next week if Broncos win just. But I don't know. I feel like it's that classic Storm. You know, they've had a few, you know, with just one type of games, and I think they'll win. I think they'll win maybe, you know, maybe like your 22-12 or something. But yeah, and then Newcastle, $3.85 against Penrith, $1.26.
I'll be honest. I'm about that far from backing Newcastle after this weekend.
I feel like I have a read on Penrith, and then I watch the game against Titans and think, oh, okay, it's like the comp is opened up now. It's like, who's going to win the comp? I think I'm going to go. I reckon Ivan's going to put a rocket up, and I'm going to go Penrith 13+.
I'm just going to go Penrith to win 1-12. I think Knights coming off the bye might be a bit fresh and do their job.
Yes. All right, and this one, Raiders at home, $1.44, Manly $2.80. I'll tell you right now, Raiders 13+.
I don't think so. I reckon it's going to be 1-12.
You reckon?
Manly are playing for their season. Like this is genuinely, if Manly lose, it could be their season done.
Yeah, I kind of feel like the Manly Chooks game was the do or die game for both sides. But yeah, this could be also, you know, if Manly win, they could have a slight chance of making finals. But I just feel like Ricky's going to get them up and say, look, you know, we lost the Saints down at the Gong. It's time that we've got to turn it up now, lads. And I think I see like a 36-10.
Wow, okay. Yeah, no,
I think Manly done. I think they're done.
The thing is, right, both Manly and the Roosters still have to play the Dolphins. And theoretically, right, if the Roosters and Manly win their games against the Dolphins, if Dolphins lose to Roosters and Manly, that flips the top 8. Because if Cronulla lose a couple of games, you could have Manly and the Chooks sliding into the top 8.
Potentially, yeah.
And Dolphins and Sharks falling out. So it'll be interesting, that's for sure.
I feel like the past few years, Chooks always find a way to get into the 8. And after watching the game on Saturday night, I'm like, ooh, you know, we probably, if we win, you know, if you're going to be a realist, if we win every game and lose to Storm, I think we make the 8 just.
Yeah.
So, and then, yeah, the next game, Dragons, $2.29 to Sharks, $1.63. Sharks looking, you know, they're in hot form, but, you know, Saints, could they cause another upset?
Saturday afternoon, I think this one's at Jubilee, and it is always a cracker when those two play. I'm going Dragons 1-12.
Yeah, I'm going to go Saints. I'm going to tip the Saints as well, 1-12. I think Cronulla, they're due for a loss.
Well, I mean, Cronulla, like, play good, play bad, could play good, play bad. And this is probably the week they play bad because that Dragons team, if they can find half the form they had last week, I think they're going to do it well.
And Dolphins, wow. The bookies can't split this one. Finns, $1.94. Roosters, $1.90 at Suncorp. I'm backing Chooks, and I'll play it safe. I'll go 1-12.
I'm doing the same. I just think Kafusi's now out. He's looking at a 2-week suspension. And no Herbie. I think it's going to hurt. They've still got a lot of strike weapons, but something we saw this week was if you can shut down Cody and Katoa, which was done really well this week, they can't involve Hammer. They can't inject Hammer. So, and one thing we done really well when we played them at Magic Round was we shut down Katoa, we shut down Nicarima. And because we shut them 2 down, Hammer didn't have the impact he normally would. So I think we got a good shot at winning it if we play smart football.
Yeah. No, I see that. I'm going to say 1-12, but there's also a world where Dolphins win. You know, it could be one of those games, but
Katoa is a talent.
Well, that'll be 5:30 on Saturday, but no, I think it'll be a good game. It'll be a good crowd up at Suncorp. Doggies, they're going to be coming off a loss here. $1.33 to the Warriors, $3.34. I think Dogs 13+.
I'm inclined to agree with you. I just think, especially after this week, they're going to want to come out and prove a point. I think Galvin's going to have a big game because he needs to. I think you're pretty spot on there.
Yeah. I mean, they'll want to. I mean, mate, rugby league, it's a funny game. You know, Dogs smoke Manly, put a flogging on, and then Dogs just get done by the Tigers. It's like the comp's so inconsistent. But I think that's the great thing about the NRL. It's
That's why we love rugby league.
well, I mean, that's right. But, you know, we won't be loving it if Penrith win 5, but I don't want to touch on that.
Yeah, don't bring that negativity in here, please.
Titans, $1.47 to Souths, $2.71. We'll call this Spoon Bowl.
It is a spoon bowl. I reckon, because South have a bye up their sleeve still, which is the week before they play us, of course. But I genuinely think whoever loses this will win the spoon. Because if Titans go a win clear, then it literally comes down to for and against, and South's for and against is like 50 points less.
Yeah. Titans at home. I mean, if they beat Penrith, they'd be going for 3 wins in a row. I think, is that club history? 3 wins in a row.
I don't think they've seen that since probably like 21.
Yeah.
I'm going 1-12 to be safe.
For
Titans.
Yeah, I'm going to get Titans 1-12 as well. I think the South will crack, but I think the pain will.
I think it's going to be the same as last week. It'll be Jai and Jai having a crack, and that'll be it.
And to finish off the round 23, Eels $1.63 at home. I'll tell you what, they've had a few home games lately. Playing at CommBank.
They also had a few away games at CommBank as well, so balances out.
There's not much travelling for them, and up against Cowboys, $2.28. I see. I probably see Para winning this one.
I think Para are going to win
1-12.
The Cowboys just don't seem to have anything left. They genuinely seem to be out of ideas. Apart from Griffin Neen, who's leading everything for them, they just seem to be out of energy.
Yeah, I think they're eyeing Mad Monday, and I think Robson's eyeing where's he going to live in Sydney.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's probably what he'd done after the Cronulla game. He's probably, instead of going back to the airport, he's probably gone to Bondi, found himself a nice little place to buy or rent.
Yeah, and round 6 in the NRLW, it's flying this one. Dragons Saints. This is a good little local derby.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? I'm going to back Cronulla here.
I'm actually going the Dargans.
Yeah,
I'm going the Dargans to get the double over Cronulla this weekend.
Yeah, right. And Knights Tigers. I'm going to back. Look, I don't see much going for the Tigers. They keep losing, and
if it wasn't for Canberra, they'd be getting the spoon, I reckon.
Knights 13+.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
And Dogs versus the Wars. What are you thinking, mate?
I'm going Wars.
What?
The Wars seem to just found a bit of form. The Dogs have been half and half. I'm going the Wars to get up 1-12 here.
I'm going to back the Doggies. Back the Dogs. Yeah, I think they'll. I'm going to go. I could see a 26-10, 13+ Dogs.
We'll remember this for next week. See if you get another Nostradamus.
Yeah, you'll see. We'll see if that pans out. And Titans versus Chookies. I'm going to be the devil's advocate here. I think a Titans upset.
I'll be honest. I've gone Chooks, but I'm thinking it's going to be a very small victory because that Titans team, again, I'll say it again. Jamie Chapman has turned that team around. She's leading from the front. They've been playing some good football the last couple of weeks, so it's going to be a tough test for the Chookie girls.
Yeah, I think they might be due for a loss, so I'm going to back the Titans.
I want the undefeated season.
Yeah, no, that'll be nice as well. Then Canberra up against the Bronx. I think Broncos too good, man.
Mate,
Broncos
by 30.
By 30.
By 30.
Yeah, I'm going to go Bronx 1-12. Maybe there might be, it could be a bit of a scrap fest.
Mate, if Sportsbet put odds on these, which unfortunately we don't seem to get them, the Broncos winning 13+ is probably paying $1.05.
$1.05, yeah, it's
I reckon
pretty short priced. And to finish off the round of the NRLW, it's Eels versus Cowboys. What are you thinking?
I'm going to give Para the double. Para and Dragons get the double over the counterparts this weekend, so Para 1-12.
Yeah. Yeah, this will be a pre-game. This will probably be played before it. Yeah, I think Para can be a bit of Para in paradise that day, and I think I could see 13+.
A pararific day in paradise.
Yeah, and well, mate, not long to go now until your birthday is on. Is it on the day of
23rd of August? And if all goes to plan, I'm going to win a grand final for baseball. My last ever game of baseball before retirement. then come out to Para and watch the Roosters win. And that'll just top off a fantastic day.
Well, a few beers that day, mate, or what?
Few hundred.
Yeah, well,
Mate, you thought Victor Radley's beers after the grand final was a good thing. Wait till you see my birthday.
yeah, no, that'll be good. There'll be a few good games to look forward to. I know Lukey's gone up to the Suncorp for that game. That would be a big one.
Then we got the Dogs game.
Dogs on a Friday night at Allianz.
8 p.m. That'll be a cracker. Then we got what? Then we got Para.
Parrot, Combank, that would be a good one. You'd think over 20,000 easily.
Yeah, Melbourne. Melbourne in Melbourne, which is always a tough trip.
I'll be there.
Yeah, I'll be down there as well. And then we finish the year with the vermin of the earth, the scum of the earth.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the Penrith trainer either.
All right. Well, mate, another great ep, and obviously we'll be back here next week. I guess we'll see what pans out, but hopefully another Chookies victory, eh?
Mate, he's hoping.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for tuning in to episode 23 of the RFTV podcast from Geordie and I. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.
Have a good night, guys.